Good afternoon, Nigerians. I'm Dr. Kemi. It's August 8th, 2024. This lady up here, her name is Madam Kemi Nandap. Madam Nandap, I have some, points and messages to pass across to you. I've been talking on many videos to our security agencies and the heads of all these parastatals. And I truly want to tell you that you shouldn't get involved in anything that will dent your image or your family name in the long run. Your great-great-grandchildren must not even hear what you're doing right now. Now, this past week, the security agencies and the service chiefs met with the president on these End Bad Governance protests. Now, according to them, they say they have identified the sponsors of this protest and they're all abroad. Now, General Musa said he has identified them. Dr. Egbetokun, IGP, also said he's identified some. Well, whoever you're identifying that lives abroad, you said you will arrest them on sight if they enter Nigeria. Madam Kemi Nandap, are you focusing on the bigger picture at all? Do you know there's a focus on bigger pictures and thinking outside the box? You want to arrest Nigerians who own this country on arrival to Nigeria because you suspect them of sponsoring End Bad Governance protests. First of all, let me ask you, ma'am, is there something wrong with protesting bad governance? Is there really something wrong with it? No, there's nothing. The governance is not good in Nigeria. Anyone has the right to protest. It's in the Constitution of Nigeria. Please get that into your head, madam. It's in the Constitution of Nigeria, Mrs. Nandap. The second thing, you want to use the power of the NIS to arrest people at the airport on site? That's abusing your power. That's abusing the power of the NIS. The NIS is an agency I actually respect so much. The way I got my passport, applied online, paid and everything, showed up at Ikoyi, and when I got my biometrics done, they dragged me to the comptroller's office in Ikoyi, and oh my God, the service was awesome. I even had some drinks and snacks over there. I was just impressed at the way Nigerian immigration service has, improved. But if you focus on the bigger picture, you guys are dishing out passports there every day. I got a 10-year passport. But as you're dishing out this passport, collecting the money, people are traveling outside Nigeria. They're not going on vacation. Madam Nandap, they're leaving Nigeria. They're going for better pastures. Have you seen what's happening in Ghana? Have you seen what's happening in Cameroon? The U.S. Embassy is dishing out visas to them in Ghana. Even the British Embassy in Nigeria said they gave 420,000 visas in 2024, not even counting 2023. Madam Nandap. And you want to insert yourself with all these men who call themselves Chief of Defense Staff, Chief of Army Staff, Chief of this, Chief of that. It is abusing your power, ma'am. You shouldn't mess your name up. One thing I do want to tell you, ma'am, is that if you in fact identified sponsors, I said, did you focus on the bigger picture? Ma'am, did you focus on the bigger picture? And that bigger picture comes to what I'm about to say now. Let's say A, B, C, and D came from a foreign country, trying to sneak into Nigeria to visit their family, and they run their passports through immigration. You want to arrest them on site. What if they're carrying a foreign passport? Madam Kemi, you really need to really think and use your brain the right way. What if they're carrying an American passport, a British passport, a European passport, EU, or any of that? You want to arrest them for what? For treason? Somebody coming from a foreign country to Nigeria? Have you even thought that these guys get visas to come to Nigeria? Maybe you should start with the embassies. Maybe you should start in the embassies and tell the embassies not to even issue them visas. But then, of course, you want to arrest them, so they have to be trapped. Do me a favor, Mrs. Nandap. The one thing you need to do is to actually go and put your agency into work with a lot of people at Nigerian Customs. Nigerian Customs have been seeing a lot of weapons coming in. We're seeing weapons, we're seeing high-powered weapons, we're seeing pump-action rifles, we're seeing ammunition, and we can't account for the people who sent them in. Are they the sponsors you're talking about? Because what I see in Northern Nigeria is really the only person protesting at this point. My hometown, Ibadan, Nigeria, they're not protesting. Southeast is not protesting. But you want to target people, and you don't know who's bringing weapons and all these things to Nigeria. You've never been able to explain to us how these things got into Nigeria. Nigerian Immigration Service, please do your work instead of getting disgraced. Your agents are begging for money at the airport. They're extorting people, and they're forcibly asking for money. Look at the one guy on the viral video begging for money. What did you do? You suspended him. That's not enough. All your agents are doing that. Have you tried to travel out of Nigeria and you see that one gate everybody goes through and put their luggage? Your customs guy and your NIS guy is telling people to give money there. Get it together, madam. This is not the way to run the show. Don't destroy NIS for us. I like NIS already. I like Nigerian Immigration Service. They've improved. Now you want to insert yourself into this madness. Madam, don't do that. You're a woman. You're a mother. You don't have the right to... Let me say something. If one of your sponsors is in America, you're going to have Hello. The U.S. Embassy is going to get involved. All these embassies are going to get involved. And you're going to cause a diplomatic incident. Madam Nandap, think twice. Don't get involved with what General Musa and all of them are doing. It is wrong. And they're also dual citizens, Nigerians, who want a better country for themselves. Why do you think everybody ran abroad? We got to have a better country and don't violate our constitutional rights because it's in the Constitution that we can protest. For all this time when people want to protest and the police is stopping people from protesting, we've had enough of that. Now people are not having it anymore. You're just going to make the situation worse for President Tinubu because 2027 is coming and no one's going to vote for him because of all this nonsense going on. Focus on what's going on in the homeland. Now, let me say something, man, before I finish this video. If you remember Lekki Toll Gate, I was one of the people that was in EndSARS thing online. We created EndSARS online, Mr. Shegun Wusonya. When Mr. Wusonya created EndSARS, a lot of people don't remember me because Kemi created Reform SARS, and we had a fight. We were head-to-head until I finally gave up and I joined them in the EndSARS. We agreed with the police on 5 things, 5 for 5. We said we're not going to protest anymore, and we're okay. They signed, we signed. At the end of the day, a protest was scheduled. Naira Marley said he wanted to hear that they're really going to go with what we signed. And they had a live with him. Frank Mba went live with him. After that protest, Mr. Macaroni, Falls, and others still had their protest 7 o'clock in the morning. 10, they were done. 10:30, they left. And then some people started arriving at 11, 11:30, 12, 12:31. Crowds were arriving in Lekki as if there was a part 2 to the protest. No, it wasn't. These guys arrived till 2:30 to 3 and they blocked the whole Lekki toll gate. Where was DSS? Where were the security agencies you're supporting? Obviously, Homeland Security went wrong there. The Department of State Security failed, and they held that gate ransom for 10 days. I mean, they held Lekki Toll Gate. I had foot surgery, and I can't get to my doctor in Victoria Island. I have to go back roads and everything. It was inconvenient for everybody. So there's a lot of things you need to look into. Look within. If somebody's sponsoring something abroad, it's not enough. It's not enough. Sponsoring what? Have they killed anybody? And I was the first journalist and the only journalist to even mention that Russian flag being hoisted and signs that said Putin. The Russian embassy said they have nothing to do with it and they don't interfere in foreign this, foreign that, even though they're just saying their own. And if you have reasons to believe that the Russian embassy knows something, you should call the ambassador and have meetings with them. Because you guys are you're going to cause a diplomatic row. And when you cause that diplomatic row, everybody will leave Nigeria. I'm telling you, everybody will break diplomatic ties with us. This is how Buhari went to kidnap Umaru Diko. And we lost Commonwealth status to a certain point. We now have to get visas to go to the UK. You guys need to stop abusing your power. And think about the people first. Nigerians first. Nigerians first. In 21, 24, none of us are going to be here. Even the baby born this afternoon will not be here. 21, 24, 100 years. None of us will be here. But your name will be out there that this is the woman that ordered arrest of people at the airport. They're going to surprise you. They're not coming in with Nigerian passports. They're going to come in with foreign passports. Madam, please rethink this. Don't let them use you. Don't let the devil use you. I'm a woman of God now. Don't let the devil use you. Thanks for listening.